Hello everyone, welcome to the LTL Mandarin School YouTube channel. I'm Max, I work for the marketing team here at LTL, and today I want to talk about a fantastic Google Chrome extension which is really good for helping you learn languages. The extension is called Language Learning with Netflix, and for this we have our wonderful colleague from France, Marine, to thank, because she actually discovered this a number of months back, and all the LTL foreign staff use it now in our quest to learn as many languages as possible. So what is Language Learning with Netflix? Well, it was something released by two developers, two passionate language learners, and it simply allows you to watch a Netflix TV show or film, or anything on Netflix actually, with two sets of subtitles instead of just one. So this allows you to watch your target language and your language simultaneously whilst watching something on Netflix, which is an absolute godsend for us language learners, because it means we can check everything word for word as we go, and you can also stop, click and make changes, which we'll come to later on. It's worth noting that this isn't an official Netflix plugin, it's actually a completely separate extension which I said was created by two developers, and it's a Google Chrome extension, so you actually won't be able to watch Netflix on your phone or your iPad with this tool. You need to be using Google Chrome on your computer as it stands. I'm sure that will change at some point in the future. Okay, first and foremost, I want to know how many of you actually know about Language Learning with Netflix, or LLN for short. So it would be great in the comment below if you could comment yes if you've heard of it before or if you use it, and no if you've never heard of it before. It'd be super useful for us to know with our subscribers who uses it and who doesn't. And before we go into detail further about Language Learning with Netflix, I also want to plug our blog, which again Marine brilliantly wrote. It's a guide to how to install LLN, how to use it, how to exploit it, all these things. So we're going to talk about some of them in the video, but if you want it in a written format as well, it's really clear to follow, go down below into the description and check out the blog. Everything you need will be in there. LLN currently hosts 30 languages, and that is growing all the time. So it could well be in the future when you're watching this video that 50, 60, 70 languages are available. If you want to know which languages, I'm not going to go through every single one of them in this video because it will just waste time. But if you head back over to our blog, there's a link in there which takes you to the Language Learning with Netflix catalogue. And this is really good because it shows you every show that's available, what countries it's available in, and which languages you can learn it with on Netflix. So you can actually check before. And what you can do in this catalogue, you can filter by target language. So for example, if you want to learn Mandarin, which I bet you do because you're here, then you can filter with things that you can watch in Mandarin using LLN. So that's a really useful tool. So for example, if you want to watch The Walking Dead and you want to learn English by watching The Walking Dead, it's available currently in 38 countries, so you need to make sure that it's available in the country that you're in. Whereas if you want to watch Sherlock, the popular BBC drama from 2010, that's actually available in 195 countries, so you'd be super unlucky to want to watch Sherlock and it not be available in your country. So that just gives you an example of the potential range of countries it could be available in. Don't forget, if you're not in that target country, you can actually use a VPN and pretend you're in that target country. So again, for example, we need to use VPNs in China if we want to access the likes of Facebook, Google, WhatsApp, etc, etc. So what we do, we connect to our VPN, let's say from the UK, and then that tricks our computer into thinking that we're in the UK. So one of the great benefits of having a VPN isn't just for people that live in China. It can actually be exploited by people all over the world, and Netflix is a really good way to exploit the use of a VPN, because if you're particularly into, let's say, Korean drama, and there's not many in the country that you're in, whether it be England, America, Australia, or wherever, but we can connect to the Korean VPN and voila, loads of Korean shows will be available. So that's a really good tip and a way to exploit Netflix using VPNs. Okay, so now let's move on to how to actually get Language Learning with Netflix, and honestly, it couldn't be much easier. So so I'm not even going to record the screen because it's that easy. It's simply a case of Googling language learning with Netflix or download language learning with Netflix, go to the result with the Chrome extension, click it, get extension, job done. It really is as simple as you like. And what will then happen, if you're a regular user of Chrome, you'll note that there's lots of other extensions that you may well use at the top right hand corner of your screen, and you'll see the little LLN logo, which again you can't really miss, and that means it's installed and you're ready to go. So now what we need to do is head on over to Netflix and actually use it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you my computer screen now and I'm going to talk you through it from there. Welcome to my Netflix account here. So now we've downloaded Language Learning with Netflix. I want to show you how to use it, and it's really quite easy. So what we're going to do, we're going to use the example that Maureen also used in our blog as well, which is the popular Chinese TV program Meteor Garden. We've reviewed it, by the way, on our website, the program at LTL-online-school.com. So if it's of interest to you, I recommend you check it out. So we simply go in and press play, and I'm just going to pause it here just to quickly show you. Here we can simply toggle LLN. So we can go off, which just makes it full screen, and then back on. And you'll notice actually straight away that we have the English and the Chinese here together. Now what we can do to change that, I'll just take you down here to the LLN settings. They're also available here as well. And you can change your transition language, which is the language that you want to learn. So there's, as I mentioned earlier, there's actually over 30 available. There's loads to choose from, lots of choices, but we're sticking with Chinese Simplified, and we will just close that. There's more details about the other features on our blog, which you can go to. And the English subtitles just come from the actual Netflix settings here. So normally, of course, you can have one set of subtitles. We are using English, although this Netflix is actually in Italian here, ironically enough. So English and Chinese together, and we just play our show, and there we have it. English and Chinese together. And the great thing is you can actually pause this and highlight words as you go in the Chinese one. So the word for hey, which actually in Chinese is also hey. And then the word for want, which is 想要. So you can actually see how the Chinese matches up to the English, and it's really, really very useful to use. So you can pause it as much as you like and pick up new words. Obviously, when you're watching things like Chinese TV, you can pick up lots of new slang as well. So this is a really, really great way to learn a language. And of course, if you want to change the languages again, so I can change the Netflix language to Italian, because I'm also trying but failing at the moment to learn Italian. We can press play, and then we'll have Italian at the top and Chinese at the bottom. And what we can do, again, we can see the words, and then you can actually click and expand them further to get an idea of exactly what the words are and what they mean. So we can hear kozi is soi, which is so actually in Chinese. So we can click it, and then we can get some usage examples. So it's incredibly useful. So for example, for me, who's learning Chinese and Italian, I can see here that we have the Chinese, and I can match it to the Italian. So I can almost learn two languages at once, if of course your brain can take it. Mine very much can normally. And that's a basic introduction to language learning with Netflix. So it's a fantastic tool. There are more features that you can check out. I would advise you go to our blog and check those out. You can also go premium, which gives you some other features, but for now we will leave it there. Okay, there we have it. Language learning with Netflix on my computer there. It's so easy to use, really, and I honestly think so effective as well. This is still a relatively new tool, and I still think that not enough people actually know about this. And of course, at LTL, we're all language enthusiasts. We all want to learn as quickly as possible, but not just that, in the most fun way possible. And for some people, textbooks just turns you off. It's too formal. It goes in one ear and out the other. Whereas when you actually do something like watching movies or listen to music or watch TV shows in that language, you can get a greater idea of the culture, and you don't even need to be in China. And of course, we'd always recommend being in the country where you want to learn that language, but sometimes you can't, it's just not possible. And this is a really, really vital way of kind of holding on to the culture and learning new things. Again, slang it's so good for, and slang can never be underestimated in its importance. It's really impressive when you know some and you can slip it into conversation. So there's many benefits to having language learning with Netflix, on TV shows, on films, on whatever you want on there. And also, as I said in the video there, to learn 2 languages instead of just 1 as well, if your brain can take it. As I said, mine generally cannot. So the final recommendation I want to give actually is, if you're interested in TV and movie and film to learn a language, hold it right there, because you need to go to LTL-online-school.com. I hope our video man Cam has put the link somewhere on the screen for you, because as of this moment now, we have over 70 reviews of apps, TV programs, songs, movies, and many more things on that website. That number is growing quite literally by the day, so we're always providing new content for you there, and there's some fantastic TV programs and movies to learn Chinese with. So what we've done extensive reviews on things like Meteor Garden, Empresses in the Palace, Yanxi Palace, Ode to Joy, Farewell My Concubine, and then we've grouped some of those into lists. So if you don't want to read a 2,000 word review about the reality show Idol Producer, you can read kind of 200 word snippets on our top 10. So for example, we have the top movies to watch in Chinese to learn Chinese, the top TV shows, the top ones available on Netflix, the top Chinese songs. So we've got all of those things. We really have got your back covered when it comes to learning Chinese through media, through TV, through movies. And thanks to Marine, you can now learn Chinese on Netflix in the most efficient way possible. As I said before, if you want to find out more about the plugin, go along to our blog, because Marine's done everything that you would possibly need to know on there. Thank you so much for listening. As we always do at the end of our videos, if you've got this far, I'm sure you've really enjoyed the content. So please support us and like the video, comment, start a conversation, and subscribe to our channel, because if you like this, then there's plenty more from us you're going to like as well.
Somewhere on the sea, it got a little longer, so it seems. I burned out, so to speak. Now come a little closer. I feel a little light in the light track.